Hey there folks, and welcome back for another shaving video. I'm Chris from iLeather.com, and of course today we're going to shave, and we're going to do so with the Holy Call Fern Concerto. I think it is. This is a soap with a nice scent. It's just clean and fresh to me. It almost smells like there's some lemon, maybe bergamot. There's some other things going on. The scent isn't super heavy. I'd call it about 3.5 to 4. It's on the lighter side, at least, out of the tub. It is $18.99 is what I paid for it. This is tallow with lanolin. It's the first time I tried a Holy Call tallow soap. It's a little bit more expensive. It's over that $4 mark, $4.74. So it's fairly pricey, but we'll see how it goes. I wanted to try one of Holy Cow's newer offerings. It's not super new, but it's new to me. So let's, before we get started, I should also mention today we're going to use the Oneblade again and see how we get along with that. And again, people like to get an idea for what the daily growth is, so I'll roll a few shots in before we get started with the lathering process. So here's our 24-hour growth that I shave day to day. Take a look. All right, so there you have it. That's what we're working with. 24 hours day to day. That's what we shave daily. It's not super thick, but it is coarse. We'll see how our Oneblade does today, and our soap, Holy Cow Fern Concerto. Smells nice. Again, the scent strength is not super heavy, but it's nice. And again, this is the first time I'm using the Holy Cow tallow soap. Let's get a little more water there. Holy Cow makes a good soap. I have enjoyed him, and Sri at Holy Cow is really a gentleman. I made a mistake on cost on one of the videos I did, and he pointed it out, but I didn't see it because he sent it in a Facebook message, which I don't see most of the time. So please, folks, if you ever see something and you need to get in contact with me, email me. That's the way to do it. Chris at iLeather.com. Anyway, so I made a video where I, got the price correct after the fact, and he couldn't have been nicer about it. Instead of jumping up and down, he was just like, I just wanted you to know. And he was really a gentleman. Nice clean scent on this soap, and it lathers nicely, as you see here. And we'll get going here with our Oneblade. I don't know what Leroy's barking about already. Probably the dogs outside bark, and of course in turn they bark. Boy, I tell you, this Oneblade is an interesting shaver because of the pivot. And if you do what Steve from Australia, I think it's Daily Shaver, if you do what he says, which is to sort of push the head down, let it pivot, you barely feel the blade cutting at all. It feels very forgiving when you do that. Obviously you can't do it here like that. There's no room to flatten it. But on the rest of your face, it works very nicely. Now, this is my second use with this blade, and it still feels very nice. The one thing that I found, a little bit odd was the fact that they were selling Oneblade and saying you need to change the blade every single day. And I was like, I don't know about that. Because these blades at the time were like, for a 10-pack, they were like $9, so it's fairly expensive, and to change it every day. I mean, don't get me wrong. It would be nice to shave with a fresh blade every day, but if it's still sharp on shaves 2, 3, 4, and 5, why would you? Really doesn't make sense. I mean, I'd like to have a new pair of tires every time I drive on the road, but that's just not practical, is it? Nor is changing the blade if it's still good. So that felt excellent. We'll come back for pass 2. All right, so that was an excellent first pass. Blade felt great. Razor was great. Soap, very, very nice. So No problems at all. No problems to speak of. If I had to offer one criticism about this soap, it would just, I'd say it's not as fragrant as I personally like. However, I found the quality to be very good. If you're a person who is sensitive to strong scents, this is the type of soap you might want. You can smell it, but it's not, robust in terms of its scent strength. It does smell nice. It's really fresh, I would call it. And the quality was very good, so not bad at all. Good quality soap. Again, my first time using the tallow from Holy Call, and it's good. It's good. Holy Call doesn't get a lot of attention sometimes, but they put out a good soap. That cannot be denied. Put out a fine soap. Okay, let's see how we do here. We're just about where we need to be. By the way, this is Edwin Jagger silver tip fiber. I believe this is the first generation, if I'm not mistaken, and I like it actually. Doesn't feel as springy as the second generation of STF did. All right, let's see how we do here on pass number 2. And again, I have to sort of remember to put it flat, just let the pivot find the angle, and it does a good job of that. And it works well when you do it. Again, blade is still cutting very effectively, so I'm not sure why it was sold as like a 1 blade per shave, other than it goes along with a 1 blade name, new blade every time you shave. I mean, that's great, I guess, if you can afford it, but if it works effectively, without having to change the blade, and I'm not feeling any degradation of the blade so far here, so it's still cutting very nicely. You don't feel it cutting, which is what makes it odd about this razor. It is a different beast. I think if you're coming from, traditional razors that are fixed and don't flex or pivot, it takes some getting used to, and I'm not used to it yet. But again, I trust me more than I trust the pivot. So I find myself, going back to my normal habits rather than letting the pivot find the angle. But when you do, it really feels nice. It shaves efficiently, but it feels quite mild. That's at least what it is for me. Okay, let's rinse the face. We'll come back for pass 3. All right, here we go, pass 3. And I would say, with respect to the Holy Call tallow soap, I'd say if you've been on the fence in terms of you're worried about the quality, don't be. It performs just beautifully, just as his vegan stuff does. Obviously, I can't tell you about the post now because, the post shave and how soft your skin feels after the fact, takes time to figure out. And plus, when you use, aftershaves and balms and all this stuff and witch hazel, it's hard to figure out which product to attribute a really nice post shave to. But sometimes you can tell. You can just, if you use them every day and all of a sudden one day your skin's like way softer than normal, but you're using the same post-shave stuff every day, then the soap really lent itself to that. But it's hard to tell sometimes which product contributed the most. They all come together as a team, and it's difficult sometimes. Today I'm going to do something I never do because it is just not something that works well for me typically. And I'm going to go across the grain on my neck, or against the grain on my neck. Across the grain is when I go up and down because the grain runs east to west and west to east. But with this razor, it feels so mild, I'm going to give this a shot. And it could be Weeper City. So I'm not going to blame the razor if it is, because this is just something I don't do, because experience has told me it tends not to work well. But that feels nice. We'll see how it goes. Usually when I do that, it is bad. But that actually feels pretty good. Again, the Oneblade feels like it's pretty doggone efficient, while feeling quite mild. So, let's. By the way, good residual slickness with this soap, no problems at all. Let me go ahead and go over it this way. That feels good. I don't know, maybe with the Oneblade I can get away with it. I don't see any weepers yet, but some creepers could pop up. And if you don't know what creepers are, they are little weepers that pop up later. Like all of a sudden one just pops up and they're not, you don't notice them during the shave. So that can happen. And that's why we call them creepers, because they creep up. Whereas a weeper usually presents itself pretty quickly during the shave, or just after the shave. These creepers have a way of just popping up, and you're like, what the heck? I've got shaving cream on my inside of my glasses there. I've managed to really do a good job of that. Huh? That's something you see all the time. I tell you, the blade really feels great on pass too. So we'll continue to use it until you know, I feel some degradation. So do you need to change the blade every single time in a Oneblade? I don't. I can tell you that, because it still feels good to me. You may need to, but it's feeling good for me. So there is that. Doesn't seem to me to be absolutely necessary to change every shave. Okay, let's rinse the face. We'll come back for the post. Stay tuned. All right, and in comes the magic made by witches. Thayers Witch Hazel works beautiful as an astringent, helps tone the skin. The aloe helps soften the skin. It is really nice stuff, and an part of my daily routine. Works beautifully. While that sets in, we will review our equipment. Oneblade worked beautifully today. I was actually able to go against the grain on my neck, which I never do. I don't see any weepers or creepers. It feels good. Blade feels good still on shave 2. This is the feather blade that is made for it. It's a good shaver. It's still a little bit awkward to me. We'll continue plugging with it to see how we feel, but it's a really good shaver that feels really mild while being effective. That's what I would say about it so far. Holy Call, Fern, Concerto. The quality on it is quite good. A little pricey, but not a bad soap at all. Tallow with lanolin. It performed well. Scent's a little light, but overall, really nice soap if you're looking for a lightly scented soap, at least slightly scented in my opinion. And today, we're also going to use, well, let's get to the brush first. It's Edwin Jagger, old school silver tip fiber. Hit the spot, did a great job. And I think this one is generation 1. Doesn't feel springy to me. Either that or it's generation 2. And the guy broke it into to the degree where it's not springy. It was given to me by a fellow. So thank you, sir. You know who you are. All right. We're also going to go with the Holy Call Fern Concerto Aftershave. I have never used a Holy Call Aftershave today, but today we are. So we'll see how we do. And by the way, I'm going to be shooting today some gear care tips because I get so many requests for those type of videos. Razor care, like post-shave tips. Razor care, post-shave, soap care, post-shave, brush care. So I will do those. I've done them before, but they tend to get lost. So I'll actually make a series that I can send to people when they ask, and I'll reshoot that today for you. A lot of menthol in this, but it smells nice. It's fairly heavy on the menthol. Let's go for another round. What the heck? It's Saturday. We've earned it. We did a good job at work this week, and hopefully every week. But Got a lot accomplished, so let's go for another round. Lots of menthol in here, but nice scent. Feels nice, clean. It doesn't feel greasy or anything like that. Holy call. He makes good stuff, so if you're interested in the tallow, lightly scented tallow and lanolin, this Fern Concerto, however you say it, is pretty doggone good. Okay, folks, thanks as always for watching. Until next time, let's help make the entire world shave great once again.